Getting enough fibre in our diet essentially boils down to one thing: add more plants. As much as you can, to as many recipes as you can, in as many meals as you can. By increasing the number of plants you're eating, you're automatically increasing the amount of fibre you're getting, the diversity of fibres, and the diversity of the critical plant chemicals that make plants so good for your health. In today's recipe, the gloriously green lentils, we're going to show you how to make a delicious base that can then be topped up with whatever your favourite vegetables are. Today we're using the most glorious mushrooms and asparagus, which we're going to bake in the oven and then add to our base. The base is full of herbs, it's got some amazing ingredients like feta, pomegranate molasses, and Kathryn is going to show us how to combine these flavours to make something that's absolutely irresistible and packed full of fibre, plant chemicals, and taste. So, if you're excited as I am to try this recipe, let's get going. So, Kathryn, lentils are one of the most fibre-packed foods that exist. So a cup of lentils can deliver as much as 18 grams of fibre, which is loads. It's more than half your sort of recommended daily intake to start with. So making a lentil-based dish is an amazing way to power up your fibre intake.
We're going to work with some beluga lentils today, and I just want to show you how to make a really gorgeous sauce for them. We're going to serve it warm, but it's thinking about ingredients in a way that you can use really delicious ingredients and combining them in a way that delivers a lot of flavour in a really simple way. So this will look quite elaborate when it's finished and when it's done, but actually the amount of effort it takes to make it is very, very little.
And we love low effort, max flavour.
We like low effort.
And these are actually, so you can buy these pre-parboiled.
Yes.
So you don't have to soak them overnight and then boil them up. You can get them parboiled from the supermarket. Microwave them for a couple of minutes.
They're an amazing ingredient to have. They're available in most big supermarkets actually. And it's a bit of a time saver.
And also if you're not used to cooking lentils, so you're not sure how to do it. Now, if you do cook your own and soak them, that's fantastic.
It's brilliant.
But if you're just getting started or you don't have the time, these are just as nutritious.
Absolutely.
Just as good for you. So I absolutely love them for me because I'm that kind of spur-of-the-moment person. I never plan lentils, I just want lentils.
So we're working with some seasonal vegetables at the moment. We've got lovely asparagus and we're going to have some mushrooms in here. But once you see what we've done with the lentils as the base of this dish, you'll see really easily how you can really swap this up. You can kind of make it your own. I'm going to show you how to do it with these ingredients.
Great, so I've got these gorgeous mushrooms here. I love mushrooms because they're not really plants, they're not really animals, they're like their own thing. And so they have fibres and phytochemicals, plant chemicals, or chemicals should we say, that are exclusively found in mushrooms.
Wow.
Can't get them in any other food.
So that's why,
we do recommend adding mushrooms to your diet because there's nothing else that actually delivers the benefits that they deliver, that these compounds do. And if you buy your mushrooms and you sunbathe them on your windowsill for 20 minutes to an hour, it increases their vitamin D content.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So now some brands will actually sunbathe their own mushrooms and sell them to you. But it is, vitamin D is hard to source from food. We do need to get it through safe sunlight exposure in the day. So getting outside for a walk is really good for you. But it's good to know that, these guys can help. So we're roasting these.
We're going to roast them. So they're quite chunky asparagus. Nice. So we're just going to take off these bits here because they're quite tough.
Okay. And can we use them for something? Can we use them for veggie stock or?
Yeah, you could use them for veggie stock.
And with the mushrooms, because we're roasting them, I'm going to cut them into quite thick slices. So they're quite nice and chunky.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Perfect. The texture is great and they will shrink down quite significantly when they've been roasted.
Yeah, it's nice.
And what we want to do is cook the asparagus for long enough so it's just softened and tender, but has still a little bit of its crunch and a little bit of texture. The next thing is seasoning and olive oil.
Bit of pepper?
Yeah, lots of pepper.
Lots of pepper. We've covered the tender tips here with the mushrooms, and that's actually going to help to protect them a little bit because
they won't cook as quickly as this. And then you'll have all the juice from the mushrooms coming out as well, so we'll have that too.
Amazing.
And a nice drizzle of olive oil.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
So this goes in, how hot is the oven?
So the oven is at 200 degrees Celsius, and we're just going to toss them a little bit in the olive oil. 200 degrees Celsius for about 15 minutes.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll open it.
15, check it at 15 to 20 minutes. All ovens have variable temperatures.
Yeah.
So start at 15 and then check it afterwards. Next, we're going to make this really, really lovely sauce.
Okay, great.
So we can move one of those. And this is where, you know how I feel about herbs.
You're a herby lover.
I'm a herby lover. I do. They just give so much flavor. So we're going to just weigh everything directly onto our weighing scales. It's digital weighing scales, down to 0. And we've got coriander, chives, and dill. And we're just going to break off small bunches. Yeah. And you just want a 20-gram mix.
Of all of them? Or
of all of them together.
Okay.
So, like, it doesn't matter if it's a bit over. Well, it's a bit over. That's fine. In goes to these chives are going to give that lovely, that delicious flavour that alliums give. That kind of.
I love chives.
Yes. And then we have some feta cheese.
Love.
We're going to put in about half of that.
Half, yeah?
Yeah. And then we're going to save the rest to scatter on top later on.
Great. There you goes.
And then we're going to use 3 tablespoons of tahini.
And again, you've got this tahini is quite a nice consistency. It's quite runny.
Yes.
And if yours isn't this runny, you said whisk it quickly with cold water.
Yes.
And it will help
whisk
with
it
that.
and keep on adding enough cold water until you have that creamy kind of consistency.
Great.
So that's our tahini. And then we're going to put in the juice of a whole lemon. So that can go in. Put this to one side. And that goes.
There we go. Bit of grip strength training.
Yes.
Nice. These are proper lemons. They are.
They're really juicy.
Really juicy and fresh.
And that goes.
Smells like a Malfi.
And then we're going to have about a tablespoon of olive oil in there.
Nice.
Salt and pepper. You can do the salt, I'll do the pepper.
And just a pinch is good.
A pinch is good because you've got the feta cheese in there.
Yeah, so it's quite salty.
And then here we just have a cup of water.
Yeah.
So we just need we're going to start with 3 tablespoons.
Okay.
And then we're going to blend it and see how the consistency is looking. And then we'll add more as we go along.
Because are you going for kind of a saucy consistency
almost
as opposed
like,
to...
Exactly. Like the consistency of double cream.
Double cream, okay.
Yes.
But much better for you.
Much better for you. So just give it a bit of a shake. And let's just pop it on here.
This blender has done so much work in its life.
They're great, aren't they? It's got to be this gorgeous green colour. Let's have a look and see how that is.
Gorgeous colour, isn't it?
It's gorgeous. Yes. Wow. Okay, I'm just going to grab a spoon. We're going to taste. You want to try?
Thank you all. Yes, please.
It's so vibrant.
It's delicious.
Isn't that gorgeous?
The tahini really
jumps at you.
That is really nice.
So let's just have a look. I think we need about 1 more tablespoon of water in there. And then that'll be good because when it gets mixed with the lentils, some of the starch from the lentils will kind of thicken the soup and bind the soup. So you don't want it to be too thick and gloopy, I would say. Hang on, there we go. There we go.
Excellent.
That's all ready to go. So I can't open that. There you go. It's stronger than me.
Got you, babes.
So that's ready. We're going to put that. These are ready to go, but we do want to heat it. You can have a cold if you want.
Okay.
But when our veggies are ready, we're going to put this all together, heat it up, and then I'm going to show you how to serve it.
Beautiful. When we talk about gut health, increasing fibre intake, and increasing the number of plants we eat per week, we are often focusing on positive nutrition. What can we add to our plate? This is very counterintuitive, especially to those of us who have grown up with diet culture, which tells us that we should always be restricting or reducing the number of foods we're eating. This is the opposite of restrictive dieting, okay? So if we are actually trying to increase fiber, increase plant diversity, and increase the number of good bacteria that are helping our gut microbiome to produce the amazing chemicals that it does for us when it's well fed, we have to focus on addition. What this means is really diversifying. So here we have these gorgeous herbs, right? We can use a diversity of herbs. Don't just pick 1, pick 2, pick 3. And remember that when we're adding these foods in, we're packing in fiber, we're packing in nutrients, but they're very low in energy density. So the wonderful thing about plant foods, like lentils, like herbs, and like seeds, which I'll explain in a minute, is that they pack an absolute punch in terms of nutrient density, but they're not very energy dense. Energy density refers to how many calories you get per mouthful. So something that is very energy dense might be something like a croissant or a biscuit. Every mouthful packs quite a lot of calories. When we look at these foods, they're really not. There's not very many calories per mouthful. And this is important when we're trying to increase the amount of nutrients we're getting, increase nutrient density and fiber without risking over-consuming energy. So if we're trying to reach a healthy weight, it can be very counterintuitive to think I need to eat more of these foods to help me achieve healthy weight loss or sustain a healthy weight. Now, often people are quite worried about nuts and seeds. They say, hey, but they're really calorific, aren't they? Well, when we look at the back of pack, you might see that an almond or a walnut or seeds have quite a lot of calories in them, but because of their food matrix, they're actually very hard to access. So the fats and the carbohydrates that are in these seeds are harder to access than if they were, for example, in a piece of bread. So whilst the back of pack labeling is correct, that's how many calories contained in these foods, that is not how many calories your body can actually access from that food. Up to about 30 to 40% of calories in nuts and seeds go completely undigested and go through you, maybe feeding your gut microbe, but not providing any actual energy for you. So don't worry about it. Make sure you have a variety of these foods in your diet. Increase the amount of these very, very high volume, high nutrient density, low energy density foods, and what you'll find is that you feel fuller for longer, your meals are satisfying, and your gut is going to love you for it. There really is no downside. With plants, more is more. Oh, so it's been in the oven for about
15 minutes.
And it looks stunning.
Oven. So we're just going to leave that there to one side. It looks the smell of asparagus and mushrooms roasting is just gorgeous.
Amazing.
And I was telling you, we've got our lentils here.
Yeah.
And we have our sauce. So you can, if you want, have them cold, but I like this to be a warm dish. So our lentils have just gone in here.
Yes, it depends. In the summer, you could have it as a cold dish.
You can have it even these cool down.
Yeah,
it could be a cold salad. And then we're just going to get our dressing and just pour that on top.
And that colour is
it's just so pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're both wearing white, so I should probably be careful.
It's part of the risks of the job.
Part of the risks. Just try and get as much of it out as you can. And put that to one side and just stir it all together. And then we're literally just going to give it about 2 minutes on a very low heat.
So we've warmed it through. It smells gorgeous.
All the smells just come to life, those aromas. And we're just going to, here I just have a nice platter just to show you. I want to show you how pretty this can be.
Look.
So again, this could be an amazing centerpiece to a meal with family and friends, or you can have it just
for yourself.
For yourself.
I'd never think to dress lentils this way. So I'm learning something new today. This is really cool.
Isn't that just a thing of beauty?
Yeah,
it almost looks like a risotto. And then we're just going to very simply dress it with. Let's see if I can do this all in one.
Wow. Go on, Kathryn. Look at that beauty.
I mean, that's like a celebration of asparagus, isn't it? Look at that. And then we've got
a blessing of unicorns.
And then let's just put our mushrooms all down.
Those mushrooms are truly just glorious.
These mushrooms, in terms of, eating meat and eating plant-based
I was just thinking that. They're so meaty almost,
They're so meaty. It's almost like having, something like a steak on top of there.
So if you're someone who's used to having meat and might miss it when you're trying to switch to more plants, actually mushrooms are so good because they have the meaty umami kind of texture and flavour, which is really satisfying as well. So it really gives you that edge.
Very, very satisfying.
Amazing.
Okay, and then we've got a few more little flourishes. We've held back some fresh cheese and we're just going to garnish.
Oh my God. Look
and because it's warm, the feta cheese will just melt into there.
Beautiful.
There. And if you want to do some pumpkin seeds, I'm just going to wash my hands very quickly.
Note how Kathryn got it all on the plate and I'm getting it everywhere.
We're not precious.
No.
And then I love pomegranate molasses. I love the sweet and sour flavours of it. And I
don't use it, so I'm excited to try it.
Drizzled on top of a dish like this.
Yeah.
It just really, it's a lovely finishing touch. And that just gets drizzled.
Oh, wow.
All over the top.
Beautiful.
And then final little bit of pepper. I think a little bit of olive oil.
Always.
Always.
Wow, look at that. So beautiful.
And always just a small little final pinch of salt.
That is stunning.
If that doesn't make increasing your fibre intake as appealing as it possibly can, I don't know what will.
It's glorious. It's glorious. I love it. I can't wait to try it.
That is like...
Come on. Come on, try some. I'm Dr Federica Amati, medical scientist, registered public health nutritionist, and best-selling author. I teach nutrition to healthcare professionals, as well as advising policymakers on how to improve public health. I also work with a clinical medical team to help people achieve their health goals. Subscribe for easy ways to improve your health, simple, delicious recipes, and evidence-based information. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok for regular updates and quick health wins. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this useful. I can't wait to see you next time.